Somebody tell me why the promised land that God gave the Jews and promised the descendants of Abraham ended up being the exact same size as the United States? According to the Bible, the Old Testament is completely saturated with God promising to expand the territory of his chosen people and providing historical account of God helping his people to win battles and gain territory over a period of about 800 years, starting with Joshua and ending with Mordecai and Queen Esther. Before the time of Queen Esther, the Jews were scattered, exiled, and handed over as slaves to new rulership due to their persistent disobedience to God. But Nehemiah chapter 7 gives us a historical detailed record of over 42,000 exiles that returned to the land. Next is the book of Esther, in which the Jews successfully inhabit the entire kingdom of Xerxes, which was a massive kingdom with distant shores totaling about 2,800 miles long, which is the same exact size as the United States. In Esther chapter 8 verse 9, it says there are 127 provinces of the kingdom of Xerxes stretching from India to Cush. Chapter 3 verse 6 says that there were Jews living throughout the entire kingdom. A beautiful young Jewish woman named Esther won the heart of King Xerxes. He took her as his queen and put a crown on her head. The highest official of King Xerxes wanted to kill all the Jews. Ignorant to the fact that his own beloved Queen Esther was Jewish, King Xerxes approved the order to slay all the Jews. Through charm and wit, Queen Esther was able to stop the order of the destruction of her people. She was able to get it reversed, causing the destruction of that wicked official named Haman. Then her adopted father Mordecai the Jew was placed second in rank to King Xerxes, and the Jews flourished throughout the entire 2,800-mile-long kingdom of King Xerxes. Esther 8 verse 9 says that for the Jews it was a time of happiness and joy, gladness and honor. In every province and in every city there was great joy and gladness among the Jews. Many people of other nationalities became Jews because fear of the Jews had seized them. The Jews assembled in their cities in all the provinces of King Xerxes to attack those determined to destroy them. And no one could stand against them because the people of all other nationalities were afraid of them. The Jews struck down all their enemies with the sword, killing and destroying them. And Mordecai sent letters to all the Jews in the 127 provinces of Xerxes' kingdom, words of goodwill and assurance. Chapter 10 says King Xerxes imposed tribute throughout the empire to its distant shores, and Mordecai the Jew was second in rank to King Xerxes. The book of Esther is the last book that gives literal detailed historical record regarding the inhabited land of the Jews. After the book of Esther is Job, Psalm, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, the Song of Solomon, and then we get into the prophetic books that again talk about the scattering of the Jews. Many people like myself who believe that the Native Americans are the lost tribes of Israel believe that the prophecies found in the prophetic books of the Bible that describe another scattering of the Jews was already fulfilled through God's prophet Christopher Columbus. The Native Americans were God's chosen people, but they persistently turned from their faith. So God invited the faithful colonists over to be the new covenant holders and inhabit the land. The colonists interbred with the Jews for over a century. So even though the Native Americans were again scattered and exiled from their land, their blood was first mixed with the blood of our ancestors for over 100 years, meaning that we are technically descendants of Abraham. So even though the Native Americans, who were the original Jews, the original Israelites, were ultimately persecuted and exiled, God's promise to Abraham's literal descendants was fulfilled. We've been populating this land as the faithful covenant holders with God ever since. But the promise also applies to his spiritual descendants, who are grafted in through faith and will reign with us forever in the New Jerusalem. The Native Americans were God's chosen people, but they turned from their faith. And since God never breaks a promise, their literal descendants survived as God's chosen people through the interbreeding of the colonists and the Native Americans. In the New World, all of Abraham's faithful descendants, both spiritual and literal, will inhabit this land.